So much better. I don't feel scared of ads, and I feel like I might actually be starting to know what I'm doing. You know what? It takes sometimes some people without like this kind of group mentality mindset training a long time to understand everything. And people tend to get lost in the technical side and forget that sometimes the most important thing is mindset. And that's why we set up the challenge the way we did with Mindset First. Um, the first 10 days have been so big for me. Oh, yay. Really having to be accountable has helped me jump on my motivation and where my values are. Yeah. Like, who loved that values challenge? And I think it was you actually that posted that written values challenge, and I loved it. I know it's kind of a duplicate of what we did electronically, but like she said, it's better to have it on paper. Just like we told you guys all to write your goals on paper. It makes it more real. It makes it something that you can see every day without having to log into your computer to see it, right? So I find that stuff super, super helpful. And I know a lot of you, I've seen the sticky notes all over the place, and that's great too. Taking a start a bit slow though, that's okay. You know, everybody has to go on their own timeline. Nobody's timeline is the same as everybody else. So I've had a hard time with the technical side of things in the past. I'm doing a lot of mindset work to remind myself that everything is learnable. No doubts really anymore. I just want to build a solid foundation. Yeah. Now, like I was saying before I hit record, I just want to re-say it. Mindset is everything when it comes to the intent. If you don't have the mindset, the technical side doesn't matter. But there is a time in our business where we still have to do this stuff. I'll try not to stir as much. The stuff that is actually going to be income producing. And that is something that I, from the beginning, have been really, really dove into. I didn't necessarily dive into the mindset stuff at first. I dove right into the technical side, and it drove my husband crazy because I wanted to know how everything worked, how to do it all. I'm just going to meet us. Maybe you need to, yeah, there we go. And just dived right into it. And I've spent a lot of time over the last couple months really understanding the basics for my new people. I know Mike can attest to this, but I've spent a lot of money on testing things in the back office. Not necessarily things that I wanted or needed for my business, but to understand how to help somebody coming in that didn't know anything and what was the easiest route for them. So I think in September I spent a couple $1,000 because I had the ad budget to really get down to what could help the newest person coming in. And it wasn't necessarily for me, but it was for my team. And we worked on, you know, split testing, how to split test different ways, how to do all these things. I really got my core audience down to a very, very small age range and exact gender and like almost location, right? Sometimes location and interest change due to an ad. If an ad is more targeted to a specific person, that is probably, and this is my sole opinion, and everybody in this business does their ads differently, but for me, I rarely run interests. I almost always leave my interest blank unless it's very specific. Like super, super specific. Like I'm snowboarding, and like honestly, somebody that doesn't have an interest in snowboarding probably isn't going to relate to my ad, right? Somebody, even with family and kids and running ads about talking about spending time with your kids, that can still relate to everyone because they understand the importance of family. Everyone has a family, right? Everyone's been a child. Everyone has a mom. So they understand whether it's from their past experiences from their childhood or from having kids of their own. So when it comes to ads about my kids, I never put out interest. When it comes to ads where I'm specifically talking about snowboarding and snowboarding every day, those are something that I might put interest on. But in the past, I probably 90% of the time never use an interest. But I do have the intent out there, and I write down what I'm looking to find in my, I think the word they use in the back office is like your perfect avatar. Was that right? You guys have been through the training in the near future past than I have. I think it's Avatar is what they call it, though. Somebody shoot in the chat. But anyway, yeah, that's right. Okay, because when you are clear on who you want to be on your team, those are the people you are going to attract. So for, say, I wanted, yes, I may be running a snowboarding ad, but what I'm actually looking for is people that enjoy life, that enjoy that freedom, because for snowboarding, that's what it gives me, right? Is that feeling of being free, not having any worries, being able to do what I want to do in that moment. And those are the kind of people that I want to attract. So for me, it's simply writing down a list of like 10 things that I want to see out of the people I bring into the company. And that I don't even have to do interest necessarily, because my mindset's so strong on what I want. I'm putting that intent out there when I'm writing my ads, when I'm doing my videos, when I'm doing, I'm specifically picturing that person in front of me, right? Does that help, or does that make like absolutely no sense? I don't know. Put it in the chat. Okay. So again, it goes back to mindset, intent, visualization, a lot of those things. But then we get down to the tech side, which I'm going to jump into. I'm just gonna wait maybe 2 more minutes to see if anyone else hops on. Yeah, go from there. Is there anything specifically before, oh good, we have a couple more jumping on. Specific questions that we can throw in the chat so that I can touch on later? Oh, hi, Shauna, there you are.
Sorry, I'm late.
That's okay. So I said I was gonna wait a couple minutes. So what I've kind of touched on so far is like having the mindset is like super important. However, in my brain, you still have to do something that's like income producing.
Yeah.
And that's where the ads come in. I've also touched on why I don't necessarily use interest as much. You might have a different view on it, but for me, the only time I use interest is if like an ad is super targeted to a certain person, like a snowboarding ad or something along those lines. Maybe before we jump into it, you can touch on what you do for interest, because everybody in the industry is a little bit different, but what has worked for you in the past and why do you do so?
I think you can be really smart with interest. I personally don't do interest. The only interest I've ever done was I tried parenting, which I'm telling you right now, it's probably the worst interest you can do. Because basically you're going to get a bunch of moms that don't want to take big risks because they have family. It's scary for them to take big risks. Number two, you're getting a lot of, I don't know. I'm not, I just don't do it. Don't target parenting.
One thing that I want to say on that too, if you want to stay away from families, which there is a very valid reason to stay away from families. I'm a family, it looks like Heidi's family, Mike's family. Like the majority of us in this little group probably has kids and is family, because that's what me and Shauna attract, right? But they say that attracting or doing your ads out to single people with no attachments are more willing to take a risk, are more willing to invest in different things to better their lives, because they have no one else that they're worried about. So that is something I have been told in the past, and I have tested it out, and I've gotten my girlfriend Caitlin Sharkey, I guess her name when she shows up on Facebook, but to test it. And she's done single males is typically the best thing to target if you're going to really pull away from that family, because they are harder to convince, right? They are harder. If you want a really easy lead, go for the single males. And then if there's any single males in here, I'm not saying that you're easy. I'm just saying that it's a little easier.
Yeah, I think you definitely can, like you can be like, so for example, I have a couple on my team, and they did this super cute picture of their son. So he works at an oyster bar, bar, and it's like a pub, but they are like specialized in like oysters, all their oysters. So they actually did this really cute ad with their baby, and there was like this plate of oysters, and it was like, the world is your oyster. So they asked me about interests, and I was like, well, let's Google oyster capital of the world, of US. And there is a town in Washington. Actually, Washington is notorious for being like the oyster capital. And I was like, I would try as an interest, I would target that area, when I would target probably more of like the outlying, like the oceanfront states.
Yeah, like the coastal. That's what I was just gonna say, like the coastal.
Yeah, so I think you can be smart if your ad has certain elements that are unique. I know I've watched Kayla DeLargy. She said sometimes she'll have like a Starbucks coffee and she'll be doing her video, and then she'll target people at like Starbucks. So I think there is a time and place for targeting interest, but I think that being really intelligent about how you do it is really important. My one ad that blew up, I had my arms up and I had a big tattoo on my shoulder. So I was like, what are the most like cities in Canada that would be like really tattoo, like, you know, so like I did Saskatoon and Hamilton, Ontario, and Halifax, you know, like towns that I know have like that trendy edge. Vancouver, the ad blew up. But as far as like interest, I don't test interest. I go broad, and then I die.
So I just want to touch on that to be more specific. So what she's actually targeting is locations and demographics. She's not actually in that interest section putting in interest, tattoo, interest, you know, all those things. Like back at the beginning, people told me to target things that the majority of people like. So I was like, well, people like coffee and wine. So I was like targeting random shit like that because I thought that's what they meant. And it's not the way it is. If Kayla definitely runs with targeting. I've talked to her in the past many times when we've seen each other in person about how she runs her ads, and she's definitely uses interest. So there's a very good playing field if you want to get into that. It's just not something that I've done in the past, and it sounds like not something really Shauna's done too much with in the past. But targeting locations, age, genders, or age and genders, is very high in my list of targeting. I just don't play with the interest section very much. So anyway, I think what we'll do is we'll jump into me sharing a screen. And you guys, this is like almost epic timing because I literally had to start a whole new ads account, everything yesterday. So mine probably looks like all of yours, blank. You know, very little amount of ads. And I got 2 ads running this morning, so I'm super stoked. 11/11 is a great day to start running ads and having the intent out there to 11/11 has been in my life a lot lately, so it's good. But
the really cool thing too, you guys, is what I'm just starting to do is I'm going to do a lookalike audience, which I think is one of the reasons I like to go broad, because sometimes I think, you know, okay, so I don't target yoga, but I would say 95% of my team are yoga teachers or yogis. I don't target them, but that's who I attract. So I'm interested to see, now that I have like 500 leads in my back office, because I just started conversion ads, I'm going to do what we call a lookalike audience. And what you do is you kind of export your anybody that's entered an email, and then you enter that, take that CSV file and you put it into Facebook, and you create a lookalike audience. So what they do is they kind of go through everybody and they'll figure out what similarities they have, and then you can get a really good idea of who you are attracting, right? So yeah. I would say, how many would you say, like, you should have over 100 before you do that?
Honestly, for like this crowd, like even for me, I only just started being able to really build a lookalike audience, to really build.
Well, it's something to look forward to anyways, that you guys know, and that's the importance.
But that's 100% what she's saying. Be broad, because you never know who you're going to attract, and as long as you have the intent out there for your perfect avatar, you're going to attract the right people anyway. So, but lookalike audiences and all that stuff is further along. You have to have the data in order to be able to create a really good lookalike campaign. I've tried to run it in the past when I had just barely enough audience, and it honestly did nothing for me because it was such a small, it was like, I don't know, 100,000 people, and that's not enough. It's not. You need to have with your lookalike campaign to be able to target at least like 900,000, if not 2 million, right? That's how you should typically be sitting at. So, but yeah, I'm gonna hop on sharing screen. Is everybody ready? Any more last minute questions before we jump into it? No? Okay, cool. Where the heck is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, ads manager. Okay, so I just had to start everything new. So actually in the chat, can everybody, oh, how do I see the chat again? Who has yet to run an ad, or who has only ran their likes campaign? So if you've not ran an ad, write no. If you've ran a likes campaign, write likes. If you have run ads in the past, write yes. I don't know, something simple. No, okay, so we have a couple brand new ones. Okay, sweet. So with those two, Allison and Marissa, have you haven't even ran your likes campaign yet? So I'm just trying to figure out where I should start. Not yet. Okay. Where are you with posting on your okay, cool. Posting on your page, like for the 7 days. Are you almost ready to do a likes campaign? Ad was not approved. Oh, okay. Heidi, interesting concept. You know what, Heidi? If you're okay with it, maybe at the end we'll hop on your ad account, if that's okay. Share screen. Are you okay with that? I can tell you're trying to talk, but you're muted. So
I think so. I'd have. Okay. I'm on my phone right now, though.
Okay. Well, maybe what I will do is, do you have time later today that we could hop on like a one-on-one? Yeah. Okay. Because likes campaigns typically don't get not approved unless you've tried to make it into an ad per se.
Wait, no, my ads campaign was liked or approved. Oh my goodness, my likes campaign was my ad wasn't approved.
Oh, okay. So I get it. I was like, normally that likes campaigns don't get approved, but I mean get approved. But that's okay. I understand what you're saying. But if you still want a one-on-one, let me know. Same as Allie. Okay, so we're kind of all pretty much. I know a couple of people on my team have ran ads before. And that's fine. We're going to start at the beginning, so have patience with us. We're going to run through kind of the simple tactics first and kind of get an idea of where everything is in the back office. So how do I make this thing go up? Anyway, whatever. Can I make it go down here? Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, so here we're looking at my ads manager. I just literally started this last night. Oh, wait, I need to keep that chat open, I guess. And see, refresher is always good. Yeah, and sometimes we miss a couple things too. So when looking at our ads manager, even though you haven't ran a likes campaign, have you been in this? Have you set this up? From the people that haven't ran anything, let me know quickly. Have you gone in and no, not yet. Okay, so Allison, I'm going to give you kind of a quick rundown, but you will see this stuff in the training in the back office of GAZ. So I'm just going to kind of give a quick tour and then we're going to start. So here, normally you start, here, let's just see if I can just go right back to the beginning. So once you get your business manager set up and your page attached to it and all of that stuff, this is typically how it's going to look once you, I was Googling all sorts of things yesterday. My computer's being slow. Oh dear. I'm gonna have to fix it. Oh, it's just gonna put me here. Anyway, normally it comes up with a screen that shows your business accounts, your ad accounts, and your pages. And then up here, in this little section up here is really important. Now on some computers, you might not be able to click this button. I know I've had this issue in the past. It depends on what browser you're using and how updated your browsers are. So My recommendation, number one, before you really start screwing around with Business Manager, is go get the most upgraded version of Chrome. Don't use Safari. Don't use. Oh, thank you, buddy. So if you don't have the most updated version of Chrome, you are not going to have access to everything in the Business Manager. That's number one. So anyway, oh, who's not muted? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, if somebody's not muted, can they just mute themselves? Over here, you'll see things like, depending on what you've clicked on in the past, this is what's going to come up in these top 4 is your most active buttons that you press. That was me. Oh, that's okay. Oh, good. You switched to your computer, so maybe we can hop on after. So your ads manager is my typical one. I just started this whole business Facebook last night, this whole manager completely. Like I had to start from ground zero. So all of these buttons are typically what everybody gets at first. Does anybody not know what a pixel is and why it's important? Throw it in the chat. No, everybody knows what a pixel is, so I can move forward. All right. Even the people that haven't done anything? Okay. Well, all right then. If you need to, that was surprising. Cool, good job. Sure, buddy. Me. Oh, you don't know what it is? Okay, we'll go back. Wait, what did I click on? Maybe it's working. Oh yeah, it is. My computer's being really slow. Who's all on internet? Can you shut off that thing? Maybe just, I don't know. I'm gonna try and minimize some stuff here. Exit out of this. I don't know, my internet's being super slow. Anyway, okay. Okay, so I just started all this morning, but so it's only just starting to become active. This is where you can actually see what your kind of ads are doing if you have a link involved. So what a pixel is, it is attached to every single ad account. Every single ad account will have a different pixel. Your pixel is not the ad. Your pixel is not, it's not even 100% necessary to freak out about at first. Like even me and Mike, we didn't even have our pixels set up till like 6 months after we started. We had no idea what it was. So most people come in here and have no idea what it was, just know it's important. It is important for helping track and understand what your ads are doing and where people are going within your website, okay? So, I'll just minimize some stuff. It's probably taking up room on your guys's. Can I, oh my goodness, hide thumbnail. Okay, there we go. We're gonna hide everybody. Look at that. Sweet. Annotate. Okay, let's use this thing. So, okay, so right here, this right here, oh, that didn't work, whatever. That right there, it shows, like, if I were to get a lead, I haven't yet, because I just started running this about 2 hours ago, it would come up here. It would say webinar, view content, and lead, and purchase, right? So a lead is someone that registers for the webinar, and a purchase is obviously the 99. This pixel will literally track everything that happens, every step that that person makes throughout your link. So it'll track going from your ad on Facebook to going to the website, which is view content, to clicking on that webinar button, to registering, to becoming a lead, and then for purchasing. Okay, it'll track every step that they make. And that's why this is important. It's really, really simple to create a pixel. It's not hard. People make it seem harder than it is. Let's just see if I have one. Okay, I haven't created one for, say, this one, whatever. I just started this Business Manager. So say we were going to create a pixel for this. Has everybody, other than those 2 girls, has everybody created a pixel and know how to do this? Just throw it in the chat. Yes, yes. Okay. Oh, look at all you smarty pants. Okay, so I'll just kind of rip through this. It's pretty easy. And you will have training in your back office. So you'd go here, create a pixel. This is the way I do it. Some people might be different. You'd go here, you'd go create pixel. It's creating, it's going, now it's going to ask you to install some code. So now in your back office, oh, and I just X'd out of it. Oh, well, I'll go back into it. I always just click this. This is how I was shown. The back office might show you something different, but how do I move this? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I always press email instructions to developer. Doesn't matter. All I care about is this part right here. So I go highlight all this. I copy it. Now I just have to open up another browser. Can you guys see this browser? I think I only picked. Can you see my other browser? Can someone throw it in the chat? I remember only picking Chrome, so you might not be.
Can't see. You can only see this browser. Open another tab.
I can't because, well, I could. Okay, Mike, I might need you to come over here and implement your your login.
For what?
Global Affiliate Zone. Because I don't know it off by heart. I always go on the other browser. Can you forward it? It's Mike Martin, right? Martin, right?
Martin,
Okay. Okay. Oh, sorry, I used the other browser for this. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Should have been a little bit more. Okay. Just a minute. No, it shouldn't. I log in all the time. Okay, sorry guys, technical issues. I don't know this stuff. Okay, so in here, you'll want to go up here where it says profile. Oh, sure. Account settings. Integrations, so this one right here. Now, it's not actually going to let me put this pixel in because I have too many, but I'm just going to show you where you would copy and paste it. So here you can actually kind of see what these each mean. So view content, someone has visited your landing page. Lead, someone has opted in. Webinar, someone's attended a webinar. Initiate purchase, they went through the checkout, but they haven't actually finished the purchase process. Purchase, they purchased the process, started sign up, account registration, and completed registration, okay? So here where it says paste your tracking pixel code, that's where you would add it in. And you can have multiple. I think you can have 5. Yeah, you can have 5. I've maxed out, so I can't have any more. Now, every time that you get use a new ad account, you have to do this process. It's not going to be the same pixel code for every, and then what I do just to finish this so that it shows that it's done is I actually put an email in and go send. Now, what's going to happen though is it probably is still going to say create pixel here after you've sent it, and that's fine. When you go to run an ad, that's when it activates it and it actually starts using the pixel, okay? The pixel doesn't become active until it's had somebody go through your link and go through the pixel and go into your website, and then the pixel will turn green. Make sense? Yes, no? Oh crap, I pressed another button. My goodness. Chat. It's hard. Make sense? Just the code. Yes. Okay, cool. And if you guys need any refreshers, there's a lot of training in the back. You opted into your own landing page. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can totally do that. I just never have. I've always just like picked it when it was red and it turns on the moment somebody clicks on it. So, which is normally fairly quickly. But yeah, I've never, but you can. It's easy to do, right? To turn it on. I've always just done it quickly before I go to make an ad on a new ad account. And if you guys don't have 5 extra ad accounts other than your personal ad account, you need to get off this webinar after that's done and go do so. So what that means, I'm just going to exit out of this. I don't know why it sent me here. Sorry guys. I'm normally much more organized, but my computer's being weird. Go back to, okay, so see here. Okay, ignore that one. Here is my new business manager, Millionaire Lifestyle. So I have 5 ad accounts plus my personal ad account, right? Those ones are all old and flagged now, so ignore those ones. But all these ones at the bottom are 5. So has anyone not have 5 ad accounts at least? If you do, write yes. If you don't, write no. Well, obviously the girls that don't have anything, then understandable, but I have 2. Okay, so Lauren, you want to max out your available ad accounts to you. The reason for that is when you get, add as many as Facebook will allow you to. Normally with a new business manager, they'll allow you 5. The reason for that is if you get one flagged, you cannot create more, okay, through that business manager. It won't let you because now your kind of account's flagged. But if you have 5 and one gets flagged, you still have 4 more to work with, right? And as long as your page and your profile don't get flagged, you can still use those 4 other ad accounts. So it's really, really important, and always be trying to get more. So every time you've had a month where you've spent quite a bit of money, or every, if your ad budget's kind of low, try every second month or something to try and get another ad account. So I'm just going to quickly go there and show you guys how to do so. Sorry, I clicked on business settings. Oh, I'm kind of the worst trainer ever. Business manager settings. So typically, like between me and Mike, we probably have 30 to 35 ad accounts between the 2 of us, between all of our business managers and all that stuff. We always want backups. You never know when Facebook's little computer is going to flag you over something that has been approved in the past even, because Facebook's rules are always changing. And if you're not constantly reading them and not keeping up on what's going on, if you run an ad that say you ran 2 months ago and it was approved and it ran and it converted and you're like, yeah, I'm going to run that again. And you go to run it and it gets disapproved and Facebook's like, no, we don't like you. And it normally takes more than 1 ad depending on what you've done or what you've said. So don't be scared of getting an ad disapproved. It happens every time. It happens to everyone, right? But just know that just because it's been approved in the past doesn't necessarily mean it'll get approved in the future. Does that make sense? I have an eyelash on. I'm just going to assume that does because nobody's saying no. So when you get to business settings, there's a whole bunch of stuff here, but ad accounts here. No, I don't want apps. I said ad accounts. Touchy little thing. So as you can see, I have 5. Now, because this is a brand new business manager, that's the maximum they'll allow me to do. But I'm going to walk you through the process of creating more for those who haven't done it yet, and for those who may have done it a while ago and only had created 1 or 2 and need more and need a little bit of a refresher. So in here, you can go add ad account, request access to an ad account, and create a new one. So you'll always want to hit this one. And I kind of check all the time. And just for the fun of it, I always name it something really motivating, or when I look at it, it's like a money amount, so that I'm constantly saying those things to myself. It's another mindset thing that I do. So I don't know, you could go 1111 because that's awesome day it is. And make sure this always says, if you're in Canada, make sure this always says Canadian dollar. If you forget to change this from USA to Canadian dollars, you will always be charged in US dollars from this ad account. I have yet to find a way to change it back once I've created it. Maybe someone can assist me on that one, but I've yet to ever find it. So I'm very adamant on changing this, because if you run an ad account that's in US dollars, you kind of always have to be doing that conversion in your head of how much you're actually spending, right? And then you would go create ad account. It's going to tell me I have too many, but that's fine. So normally that would be how you do it. You don't necessarily have to add in a payment method right away. I only ever have one payment method on one account at one time. I never put more. So I'm just going to get out of there. So it's really simple to add more, but I only ever have payment information on one. The reason for that, in my head, is if a payment method, an ad account ever gets flagged, so does that payment method. Now, I don't know what you guys are using for your payment methods, but honestly, I found the best ones to use are a debit Visa, not a credit card. Now, the reason for my reasoning on that is if something gets flagged and I have to put in a new payment method, now I don't have to cancel my credit card and get a new credit card number or go try and get a different credit card or something along those lines, right? All I have to do is go to the bank and say I lost my debit card. And it's a really simple exchange. Facebook does not know the difference between one debit card to the next for being the same bank account. It's really, really easy to get those as long as your bank has the debit visas, obviously. Most of them do nowadays. But that's all I ever use. I never use a credit card. I never use whatever. Anything that's hard to get a new one of, I don't use. Because sometimes, and this has happened to me in the past, I will have an account flagged, and then just because I'm panicking and trying to create other ads that'll work, I get another account flagged, and it's really hard to keep up with creating new ways of payment. Oh, sorry, Kate. I thought I told everybody, but maybe you weren't there that day. That's 4 months old and been spending faithfully on it, even if 2 of my original ad accounts have been shut down. Yeah, you can, Mike, you can change from a credit card to debit at any time, but it has to be a debit Visa. Okay, so I'm just trying to clarify on your question. Maybe unmute yourself, love, and say your question out loud. If I have a business page that's 4 months old and been spending faithfully on it, can I try and get more ad accounts? You should be, unless you have ad accounts. If that was the answer that you're looking for.
Yeah, it was 2 of the original 5, like when I first set it up, got shut down.
Okay.
So I can still like try to add more now.
I would always try. They might not let you.
Okay.
Because you have flagged accounts on your business manager. But what I can show you guys maybe closer to the end of the month is to do what I did. And so what happens when you start running out of ad accounts and you can't create anymore, you have to create a new business manager. Now, you don't have to create a new profile necessarily to create a new business manager. With each profile, you are allowed 2 business managers. I won't show you today because that's something that probably most of you won't need right away. But in the future, it is something. So maybe closer to the end of the month, I'll post like a video of showing how to do so. I know Shauna Clark's had to do it. I've had to do it, twice now. And it's just something to know in the back of your head if it ever comes into play. Because if you can't get any more ad accounts, you're down to 3, right?
And just so you guys know, I didn't know this, but like sometimes you could be flagged and you won't even know. So like that was what happened to me. It wasn't like this like thing that everybody talked about. Like I went in and all my ads were shut down and there was like flags and red things everywhere. Mine didn't look like that. It just, I literally could not get a conversion ad approved if my life depended on it. I tried every single thing and they would disapprove. And I was like, but then if I ran it as post engagement, it would get approved. So that's why I only just started running conversion ads a month ago over a month now, but because Kat helped me open it. And she actually was like, you think you could be flagged? So if you're having a really hard time getting ads approved, like a conversion ad especially, there's a good chance that you could be flagged and it's just not an extreme version. So if you're really struggling to get an ad approved that you know should be approved, don't like send a whatever to Facebook. Like, don't even go that route. Just try to run it through another one and see what happens. And then if it's no problem, then you know you've been flagged. So I just want to touch on that because I went through that.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. And remember too, when we get flagged, we're not bad people. We're not doing bad things. We're not trying to scam people. Don't get that mindset in your head. What is happening is the computer picked up on something, because our ads are not going through real people until you email them and they have a real person look at your account, right? We have to rely on a computer to tell us if we're good or bad. So this is why knowing what to do when you get flagged, knowing what to do when you run out of ad accounts is important, because it is going to happen. But anyway, so does everybody kind of understand how to create a pixel, how to create more ad accounts? The rest of setting up your business manager, I'm not really going to go over, just because that is all in the back training. I'm going to hop right into kind of ads now, because I know we've already been on for 45 minutes. I haven't really gotten to much, but I feel like what I said was important so far. So ads manager. As you can tell, I'm one of those girls that like really long Zooms, obviously. Whatever. And yeah, I will post something about the additional business manager. Okay, so I will go ahead and show you guys how to create an ad from scratch. We love you. Well, that's good. Who here has been running, actually, first question, who knows the difference between a post engagement and a conversion? If you don't, press no, or type no. And I'll just quickly touch on that. No, okay. Okay. No, okay, so we have a couple no's. So the difference between a post engagement and a conversion is pretty much just what Facebook is looking for, okay? On a conversion, it can turn into a post engagement, but typically Facebook is looking for, on a conversion, people that like to click links. So they target people that like to click links and like to register for stuff. And so typically with a conversion, you're not asking for comments, you're not asking for messages, you're literally just telling them to click the link and find out more information. And it really automates your business. It does tend to cost a little more. Post engagement is what Brian has taught all of us, what Jesse has taught all of my team and me and Mike, and what I have continued to teach my team. Only at the beginning stages of their businesses, mainly because it is the cheaper way to get leads and the most practice. Because with post engagement, Facebook is targeting people that want to comment, that like messaging, that typically like and share and comment on ads or posts in general. So that is the difference. It's just what Facebook is looking for. It makes no difference in what kind of ad you make, really, like the look of it, typically. And what I said earlier with a conversion turning into a post engagement, if you write in your ad copy that you want them to comment, that you want them to message you, that you would love to talk to them personally, typically your conversion will then turn into a post engagement on its own. And what we mean by that is Facebook's still looking for link clickers, for people that like to register for things. But Mike, no, you have a pretty good hold on what you're doing. I feel like you've been doing quite a bit over the last couple of months. I've worked with you lots. Post engagement is just you get interaction with more people. Now, I think we spoke before about running post engagement with like message buttons and all those things. And which I'm going to go over. Both are very, very good routes. It just depends on what
Can I expand on what you're saying, Kat? Yeah. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Just because a lot of these girls that are saying they don't know this stuff, that's my team. They're all brand new. Like,
okay, yeah, go ahead, please then.
So just you guys, basically what Kat is saying, like you can use a conversion ad as a post engagement ad, but you can't do it the other way around. You cannot put a link in a post engagement ad, okay? So, but you can ask people to comment on a conversion and put a link in it, but if you're running a post engagement, you cannot put a link in the ad copy. So
it will just make it cost more. You could.
Oh, really? I can't get them approved. I didn't think that you could.
It's probably just you, but you can. And also Facebook has added new options in, which is why I spent so much money in September learning all these new options. So yes, Sean is very correct. Normally in a post engagement, we do not put links because we want the only option for people is to comment and message you. So she's very, 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 very right. But Facebook has now, in the last couple months, given us the option that we can put in links, that we can put in buttons. I find it still costs a little bit more because Facebook really doesn't like sending people off of their platform. As much as they like us spending money on them doing so, they prefer it when you keep them within the platform. Does that make sense? Do you need me to explain it in a different way? If it does not make sense, please tell me because I will reword it. So Facebook will make it cheaper for you if you have no link. Facebook you will get leads cheaper if you put in the work to message, if you put in the work to make the phone calls, if you put in the work to answer all the damn comments, okay? There will come a time in your business where that is typically too much work, and Shauna can attest to this too. She was getting, 35, 50 messages a day, and it sometimes is overwhelming and too much, and that's when we turn to conversions because is the URL option when you create, Kate, that's what I'm talking about. I'm going to show you this. So we're just going to hop in. Fuck it. We're just going to get right in there.
Kat, can I just ask you a quick question that I want clarity on, actually?
100%.
So I do have an ad that's doing exactly, it's like blowing up, and I just don't have the time for it. Mm-hmm. I have to turn that off to turn it to conversion, don't I?
What you could do is, I'll show you in here, and you can try this. If not, I would try and remake it as a conversion, but not shut off that post engagement just yet until you find out if it converts as conversion. Yeah. Sometimes they don't relay back and forth, right? Okay. Okay, so what I did was click on engagement. So I have tried every single one of these, and if you guys have any questions about what any of those are, I haven't tried this one because I can't, and I haven't tried that one because I don't have an app yet. We do, but it's like, whatever, doesn't matter. It's not ready yet for people. Starting with, post engagements, that's why I'm starting here, is most important. So when we click on engagement, post engagement, we click here. If you want a page like, you click here, and if you have an event, you can do that. But 99% of the time, you're gonna click here. Now, what I do to keep my ads manager very, very neat is I name everything. So for me, if I'm going to do a post engagement, I just actually did an ad this morning, so we'll run that one. I'm gonna go, whatever, I'll just go new vid. I'm not being very creative right now. And then I'll go Canada, USA, and Australia. And I'll go 23 to, I am split testing a bigger age group right now because this is a brand new ads manager. So the pixel knows nothing. Your pixel gets smarter and smarter and smarter, even with the bad ads. Does that make sense? So like your pixel is like a big brain. It tracks everything and it remembers everything that happens. So as you move forward, every ad you run, even if it was a really crappy ad, it will still remember what happened and what actually succeeded from that ad and keep that as a database. So this new ads manager that I had to create is, let's say, a toddler. My other one was like a 90-year-old guru, okay? I spent thousands and it knew everything. This one knows nothing. So I have to start from ground zero, probably like a lot of you guys. If I'm talking nonsense, somebody please tell me. And what I always do is also rename the ad setup here. So when I look at everything, I know exactly what it is without having to go into the ad. I hate having to do that. And I hate looking at people's ads managers that are like this, because you never know what you're looking at. Because Facebook will automatically name it. And if you don't have the names proper to what you're actually, what did I do? 23 to 36? Yeah. So I always rename it, because then when you're looking through all the tabs, you know exactly what you're doing. And then I go in here and I make this exactly like how I named it. Okay, so United States. I'm going extremely broad here because of my predicament. Now with you guys, if you wanted to stick just to Canada, that is fine. Mike, if you want to try testing out Australia, try testing it out. You never know until you test it. Just because it works for, say, William and Mike and I don't know who else is running traffic to Australia right now, but I'm only just trying to start it, trying to get my own team in Australia. But honestly, if you're going to run to Australia or anywhere outside of really our time zones, you cannot run the live, you cannot advertise the live webinar. They are never going to be able to watch it, because it's always going to be at like 3 a.m. their time. So if you're going to do that, you're going to have to run, say, the EverWeber or that replay link. But honestly, that's probably that's just to answer Mike's question, not necessarily what everybody should be doing. So that's because I put those 3 in there, because that's what I'm doing. Now, like Shauna said, you can target specific cities. So say I wanted to target Kelowna. I could just target Kelowna. It's going to bring my numbers way down, because Kelowna is a smaller place. Right now I have way too many people. I have 250 whatever that is, million people right now. So I'm going to have to really bring that down by age limits. I probably made this way too broad, but anyway, it doesn't matter. You guys, I would recommend sticking to just Canada or just United States until you figure out the form of split testing, because what I'm going to do after this, oh no, I won 36, didn't I? Is I'm going to split test every 1 year of ages. So if you're just running your first ad, I would maybe try and keep this potential reach over here. So right here is where you kind of watch. I would say keep that between 1 million and 10 million. Okay. And yeah. Does that make sense, Shauna? Fuck, I kind of screwed this up by putting, maybe I'll take something off here. Maybe
no,
I'll just
it makes sense. It makes sense. You're just doing 3 countries. Like,
yeah.
I found that honestly, they say, like, who do you target? Target who you're like. Like, I actually I don't like saying strongly, but for my team, I would recommend you start out with just Canada.
Yeah, that's what I would recommend too.
And then go move into the States when you know how to split test, so you can find out. Like, I know Kentucky and Mississippi and Louisiana are states that do nothing for me. So I'm not going to waste my money. So I would recommend that, guys, just to keep this for my team. I'm not saying this for everybody.
No, for everyone. I should have maybe made it a little bit less.
What I would say to my team is start with Canada. If you're in Canada, if there's people here from Australia, start with Australia. If there's people here from the States, start with the States.
Start with where you know.
Yeah, and then like my age range I know is 25 to 35. If you're over 35, yours might be 35 to 45. If you're like around 21 years old, then your age range might be 20 to 30. That is something you'll have to find out. But that's why I start like recommending we just do one country, and then it's more manageable, and you can. I feel like split testing is more effective. Kat is just so used to this that she could do something broad like this and know exactly what to look for.
I know. I'll just take maybe United States though. That'll help. Let's look. That'll probably help. Yeah, 13 mil. There we go. That's better. I'll just take it over here. I didn't really want that many people anyway. But what my reasoning on that was I don't know what this pixel is going to like, right? I don't know what's going to happen, because on my other pixel, I knew that I could only sell between 23 and 28 years old. I had a really small age range, and it was only women, right? So even here, I could just go women. And I've already found that out with this pixel as well by just running those 2 ads this morning, that only women are interacting with my ads. So right there, it brought it down to 6 mil. That's perfect. So you just play around, like how Shauna said, you know, you just play around until you get it in between that potential reach that you actually want. Now, 6 million is okay with me. Typically for a really dialed in ad, it's probably going to be between 1 and 2 mil. She's a champ. Some days. But typically that's what you're going to want. Now, because I'm starting really broad, and a lot of you will too, if you're willing to do the split testing right off the bat and understand it, then I would go in once I've made this ad and I'd make a duplicate that's each year. So say like I do 23 to 25, 25 to 27, 27 to 29, 29 to 31, blah, 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 and so forth, right? Because then you'll really get an understanding of what age groups are working for you, and you can shut off the ones that aren't. And this is just the really broad one. Does that make sense? In the little breakdown of split testing, the really simple way of I do it, does that make sense?
Split testing is an art, you guys. It's work, right?
I'm going to show you after this how, like, one extra of how I would split test it.
Totally. Yeah. She simplified it like very well. Something that you will, if you're a little bit unclear on it, just know that split testing is one of the things that I consider an art, and I think that it's like something you get good at and you practice. So
practice makes perfect. It's 100% what it is.
You'll get there.
Split testing can be overwhelming, but if you set it up really simple and you're only like, that's why I typically don't do interests, and that's why when I'm split testing, I typically do ages first. So that's why I brought up ages. I always split test my ages because I think that's something that's really important, because no matter what country I go to, I know I'm probably only going to attract people in this age group because I've tested it out before in different countries, and it's always been pretty much between 23 and 30, typically. So I've split tested it so much, I just know, but you guys will be doing the same. And I've taken this split testing theory from Brian. He's the one that showed this to me, and he literally breaks it down to 1 year increments, but not everybody's budget can handle that. Does that make sense? Because every time that you, like, I duplicate at campaign level, some people will duplicate at ad set level. It really doesn't matter. I duplicate at campaign level just so I can see everything right off the hop. Shauna, I don't know if you duplicate at a different.
I just duplicate. I don't duplicate interest. I'm going to try some tonight because I'm lazy.
Oh, no, I meant like when you go to duplicate, do you duplicate within the ad set level, like on your tab, or do you duplicate?
Yeah, I do it in Power Editor. It's super easy to.
Okay, so yeah, you're different than me too then.
Yeah,
everybody's different. That is the point. Everybody is different. So take aspects of what I'm saying, what Shauna says. If you want any help afterwards, I know I am willing, you know, at any time, if anybody wants a one-on-one, just let me know. Give me enough time notice. I will more than love to spend 15 minutes with you on a Zoom. You know what I mean? It's not hard for me to show you guys this stuff. And once I've done a big Zoom like this, it's not hard to go over the simple things. So I guess I didn't say what I was doing, but I always click edit placements. I never do automatic placements. I know it says recommended, but for me, there's aspects in here that are very expensive. Instant articles, super expensive, and you don't get the comments. Especially with a post engagement, none of these will allow the Facebook users to actually comment most of the time. Okay. Instagram, I always take off, mainly because my videos are too long anyway. Oh, should I restart the split testing from the beginning if I want to try a different ad? If you want to try a different ad, as in like the actual video or the ad copy, is that what you're saying? I'll just keep moving. So I'm going to delete all these. Okay. You typically, what you could do if you're happy with the ad set, but you just want to try something different, I would just, create a new campaign. It would be the simplest way to do it. Now, if this is a video.
Can I just ask you something?
Yeah.
Can you, after this is done, can you actually just do it like as if, and show people at the very end, just show them how, because like people are like, wow, this looks like a lot. he's literally breaking this down like absolutely everything. But you guys running an ad literally is like can take like 3 minutes.
Oh yeah, normally this takes me 30 seconds.
Yeah. So at the end, maybe do you want to just like walk through it as if you're doing it, and then
I will.
you can show people like that, so that if somebody wants to go back and rewatch this and just use it for reference, that
go
you
to the very end. Yeah, I agree.
End. Yeah.
Well, when I go to duplicate, I'm going to do it a whole lot faster. So maybe that'll be the perfect time to do it. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So I always pick, if it's a video, Wi-Fi. Because if they don't have Wi-Fi, they're typically not going to listen to my 2-minute long video. Correct? You always change this to $5. Don't be excited and think spending $30 on an ad is going to get you more leads. Typically, if you're spending more money off the top, Facebook will just $5. Just always do $5 and duplicate if you want to up the budget. Here is where something is very, very important, and I didn't learn at the beginning. Instead of impression, you want to click post engagement. I wasted a lot of money back in the day because I never clicked that button. Now Facebook is only going to charge me for post engagements instead of just people looking at my ad. Make sense?
I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, I've wasted a lot of money in the back in the day for that too. I didn't know it existed either until now. But okay. I'm gonna just click. Actually, I'm gonna see if it allows me to do what I want to show you, Shauna, with clicking an existing post. No. Okay. I'm gonna go to create an ad. Single video. Now what you can do, if you have a video that you've ran an ad in the past and it's got lots of video views, definitely go browse your library and get it from there, because what's going to happen is those video views are going to keep accumulating, even though these are all different ads and these are all different necessarily posts, right? But if you continue to use the same video that you uploaded in the beginning, all those views from all 10 ads, say if you have 10 ads running, are all going to accumulate. And when your video has, say, 50,000 views, it's 100 times more impactful for someone going to watch it than if your video has 100 views, correct? Like when I go and watch something, if it's got 50,000 views, it's got to be good, right? I'm going to watch that thing. And so when you can accumulate all the views onto one uploaded video instead of 10 different ones, you're going to up that number so much quicker because you have like 10 ads going to it or 2 ads going to it, or you've ran an ad with it in the past. Like I picked a video that I ran back in May and it had 75,000 views, and I reran it in October with a completely different like look, everything, just the same video. And because it already had 75,000 views, even though it was a brand new ad, it looked like it had been well seasoned. That's pure gold. Yeah, I thought I taught you guys that too, but whatever, doesn't matter. If you wanted to add captions, I would go generate automatically and then always go and edit it. Because it's going to add in every it's going to add in, it's going to sometimes think that you said something and it's going to come up with the word, I don't know, chicken, and instead of what you actually wanted to say. So go generate automatically because it helps out. It does take a long time. Put headphones in, spend the time, and really hone down on everything that you're saying and make it, clean it up and make it look really, really good if you're going to add captions. And I say adding captions is a good thing, because not everyone listens to the videos with volume, and I'm a really bad culprit for that. If it's got captions, I'll just sit there and read the captions while it's going, especially if I'm like laying in bed or whatever. Oh crap. You know what? I'm just gonna go. I should really go get it. Just a minute. It'll take me 2 seconds. This is the one thing with not using an existing post. You got to go get your ad copy all the time. The next one will be much easier, I think, because I already had it copied. This one.
So you're doing a dark post right now, right? That's what you're doing?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you didn't want to do a dark post, who knows the difference between a dark post, ghost, like I call
go through it. I know my team doesn't know.
Okay, why don't you do that while I'm doing this?
Okay, guys. So a dark post is basically what you're doing is you're doing what Kat's doing right now is you're creating the ad in your business manager, basically. Kat likes dark posts and she does really well with them. I never run dark posts because I don't do well with them. Again, something you're going to have to test. The only reason, lots of benefits to both, which is a whole another thing. But anyway, so basically what she's doing is she's creating the ad in the business manager so it's not on her page. In that way, so if she wanted to find the ad, then she can't find it on her page. You have to be able to go through like a comment or engagement. So that's why we call it a dark post, because it's not on your fan page at all. So for those of you that, like, I know there's a couple girls on my team that are like, I don't want ads. Like, I don't want anybody that I know to see my ads. And maybe you want to do dark posts. And then in the ads, you can make sure none of your friends see it. So I just wanted to do that for my team because I know that they wouldn't know. So
yep, that's cool. Because you know what, the reasons I do dark posts is I can literally customize every single ad, whereas if I use an existing post, I have to go back and edit the ad pretty much on my business page first. So this one I actually did put on my business page, but typically I don't put my ads on my business page for a lot of the same reasons that Shauna was saying, right? I guess I could go back and edit this later. Yeah, I will. Okay, instead of wasting time now. But anyway, so on this, I didn't tell, or this one because, crap. This one is a post engagement. This is the write-up I did for a conversion. So comment. On a post engagement, you always need to tell them what you want them to do. So comment, send, whatever, I'll just put this. Send it. It's been my word this week, so. Comment, send it. Personally message you. Message. Actually, don't use the word you guys, especially for all you guys with new ad accounts and like me right now, because my ad account is not seasoned. You have to be careful by you can't use the words you can't direct it at one perfect person specifically. If you have an older ad account that's really well seasoned, you might get away with it. But most people don't. All the details. But on a post engagement, you have to tell people what to do. So comment, send it. I want them to comment. Now, on a post engagement, Shauna, this is where you were asked saying that you can't add a link. You can now. So you go here, you go add button. You can either get them to send a message directly from your post engagement, or you can do a learn more button just like on a posting or on a conversion. So what do you guys, Shauna, what do you want me to teach your team? Do you want them to get messages? Probably, hey, for the new guys?
yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we're going to do a send message button because I typically told them to message me right up here. Comment, send it, and I'll personally message you all the details. So now with this send message button, if you guys see, I don't know if there's a chat box. Now it's added a button to my post engagement. Typically with post engagements, you wouldn't really want to add a link anyway because it ends up costing you more money. Doing it this way with the send message button is probably the cheapest route that you could go. I could turn on this if I wanted to. With a post engagement, you typically don't need it. Now I know for you guys, actually I'll just go in and edit this later instead of saying anything. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So I always go hit review because anything that's wrong, it's going to come up with right away. And sometimes my budget doesn't automatically change, so I always double check that it went to $5. Sometimes it goes back to 20 for some weird reason. And then I go confirm. And now, so that was running us through our first post engagement and how to add that send message button right into it. I've had a lot of people on my team have really, really, really good luck with that send message button. Oh, look, it was approved right away. Hey, Shauna. Hey, Shauna, my ad was approved. I want to cry. It's been a couple hard days.
That's amazing. And you know what, you guys, there is something. Oh, you have no idea how the probably this is like. She could probably literally cry right now. But when they get approved super fast like that, usually you know you're good. When I the exact same thing happened to me when Kat was helping me. I was like, oh man, it's approved. Like your ad is pending approval, and then you just sit there and bite your nails forever, and then a lot of times they don't get approved. So once you kind of know you're good when your ad's just like boom. So she's.
But also too, if it takes a long time, it could be because your ad account is brand new. It could be because there is something in there that the computer needs to really look over. And sometimes it just takes time. So don't stress. Don't sit there and put the bad energy into that it's going to get disapproved. Just shut your computer and check it in another 15 minutes. If it's still pending, check it in another 15 minutes. Typically, you'll have an answer within an hour. But like yesterday when I was going through and trying to set up all new ads managers and stuff, my first two took about an hour and a half for me to get an answer. This is my first ad that went bam. The reason why it did this is probably because I have two other ads that are very, very similar. It's just different, one's a conversion. So if I wanted to duplicate, and this is where I'm gonna go quite a bit faster, so you can actually duplicate right away. The one thing I would say is after you've made your ad and you've duplicated it so many times, after that, only duplicate once a day if you want to continue to up your ad budget. Depending on your ad budget, it's going to, you can duplicate as many times as you want. Sometimes I have 50 ads running, right? But my ad budget is probably quite a bit larger than your guys's, and that's fine. Duplicating when something is running good isn't a scary thing. Duplicating is going to be sending more ads out to more people in the same amount of ads within the same ad set, and you're probably going to get more results from duplicating than adjusting the budget. So yes, every time you duplicate, it typically ups your budget $5, unless I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Shauna, but unless you're duplicating, well, this is going to duplicate at the ad set level. Anyway, ignore that, maybe not. It's just expect it to up your budget by $5 is how I always do mine. I do mine at the campaign level. Did that make no sense? I felt like that made no sense at all. My brain's kind of hurting. So I'm going to do this again. It's already got everything up. That's great. What you can do is you could change something really small here. I actually want to go back. So this is where edit ad set. Sorry, I didn't see that button. This is how I would duplicate, and I do it over and over and over again until I go through all of the age ranges. So this would be the only, what the heck? Oh, targeting. I'd go in here, and instead of 23 to 26, depending on your ad budget. So say you are putting, what would be a typical ad budget for most of you? Like $300 a month? Is that
well, it's 150 is $5 a day. So when people come on, if that's what I say 150 to 300. 150 is low. Like to start, when people ask me, I say $5 a day on an ad. Some days you're not going to run. That's what I tell my team anyways. But I would say 300 is what I started at.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what I'm going to show you is going to cost you more money at the beginning, but you are going to understand what really works for you. So what I'm going to do is kind of make this a little bit bigger. So what do we got? 23 to 36. How many years is that? 13. So 6. So let's just divide it by 4 years instead. So 23 to 27. So there we go. Okay, cool. We'll leave everything else the same and go save. And then I'll do it again. Okay, cool. Oh, I forgot to change the free name. Can I do that here? How do I do that? How do I do that? There we go. So click that little button up at the top. Whenever you change something, change it here so you know exactly what you're looking at when you go to see the results. Why won't it let me save it? Oh, Pete's sakes. Shauna, help me. Why isn't it letting me change? I don't normally do this one.
Well, weren't you trying to make a new ad? Weren't you trying to do a new one?
I was just trying to duplicate.
I don't
normally do it from here. I don't normally do it from that button, but I thought
I don't know how to duplicate.
Okay, start over. Ignore the last 5 minutes. I'm sorry, guys. I should have just did it the way I normally do it. Okay. What the heck? Where's my thing? Didn't I just rank an ad?
Uh-oh.
What happened? Well, I could duplicate my conversion. It's not like I can't duplicate that. Technical issues. Sorry, guys. I'm on it. Trying to be on it anyway. What the heck? Wonder what I did. Oh, comments. Let's check out those while this is happening. Only a day and a half, so I'm gonna have to go. Okay, get up. I love you. I love you. I'm gonna hurry up now. Oh, there it is. Okay, so here I'm going to duplicate here. This is typically how I duplicate. It always ups my budget by $5. If you don't want to up your budget by $5 and you want to split the budget, you can do it, I believe, from ad set level. I'm not 100% sure because I never do it there, but here's where I go. So I just check off the campaign I want to duplicate. I click on here. It brings up this. It's a really simple process from this way. Sorry guys for the confusion before. So here is where I would edit the ad set to be exactly what I want. So for you guys, if you wanted to split, say 12 years, I'd split it up into 3 or 4, or whatever you can afford for about 3 days. And it's really going to give you enough. All you need for the ad to get to is 500 reach. Okay. I feel like sometimes I take way too long to explain things, but I'm trying to go as in detail as possible. 23 to 27. So there I've changed the name, which is perfect because now when I go to look at this, I will see it. Okay, perfect. That's perfect. Save and continue. Make sure these two match the name. Go save. And that should work. And then I'm not going to change anything in this.
You did it because it's different than I do it, so it's interesting. I think I'm going to try this way too.
Oh, okay, cool. And then that I'm going to keep all the same. I'm not going to change anything there. So I'm going to go. It's going to add. See here, it says additional budget. If you try an ad set, I think it goes within the budget, so that splits the $5. I find you don't get your results as quick though, and you end up spending just the same amount anyway. It's just it takes way longer, right? Because you're splitting up the budget. So this, I pretty much know what ages work for me within 24, 48 hours. And yes, I had to spend a little bit more money up front, but now for the rest of the month, I know I can just run the one ad that actually worked. Does that make sense? Why we split test and why we spend extra money at the beginning? Okay, cool. Just trying to quickly run through it. So now I would do it over again and go 27 to 32 and then 32 to 36. And I do that 2 more times over. Yes, I'm spending $20 a day for the next 2 days, but so see this one I just started before the Zoom. It's only at 148 reach. So what I'm looking for all of those duplicates to get to is 500. By then I should have enough data to know what ad is running best. And a really easy way to look at what ad is running best, see, I'm gonna go to this one actually. So you would go view charts. This is one really simple way to check her out. Go here. So I've spent that much money, which is perfect because I'm gonna shut it off right away. I click on demographics and I look here. So you can tell right away that my best ages is a woman. So that's why now I've made all my ads to go to women and not men, because I only get what 12% actually men that actually do anything on my ads. And over here I get like way more, you know, without 68%, 82%. That one's only 18 and 31. So it's not even almost worth my time to run any ads to men. And yeah. And I can also look at the age groups that are doing the best too. So obviously it's the ages between 25 and 34. When you really get down to your ages, split testing your ages, and you say you have an ad that's running say 22 to 24, you would know that it's not 18 to 24 that's doing good. It's actually the 22 to 24 because that's all I chose to run it to, right? Does that make sense as a quick explanation?
Yeah. You know what, Kat, mine's open. Can I just show them when you're in that case how fast you can do it?
Yeah, go ahead. Yep. Oh, do you want me to
I'll show you this really quick? Because I opened mine because I thought this would help you guys. So once you do know exactly what you're doing, this is literally, so she just showed you how to duplicate. That's really important to be able to do that and know that. But then once you get down to knowing what you're doing, and first, Kat, just a question. I know that you guys are seeing this like $3.35 and $12.14. This was a conversion ad that went post engagement.
Yeah, so you got a really good lead cost.
Yeah, so basically what I'm doing is, I'm adding the 29 and the 8, and then I'm dividing it by the 97.10, and that's actually what I'm paying technically per person. So sometimes these numbers like this, they look really bad, but if you actually add up the total and divide it by what you're spending, you can get an accurate number.
That's what I'm going to touch on next, on how to set up your columns. So see how she has her columns as post engagement, post comments, cost per post comments, website leads, and cost per. You want to be able to set up your columns so you see that, because especially while you're doing your thing, or do you want?
Yeah, no, I'll just do this super quick and then you can take your screen back. So all I'm going to do, you guys, I'm in what's called Power Editor up here. This is where I do mine. I also do at the campaign level. I find it way easier for me. All I'm going to do is I'll just pick this one. I'm going to duplicate this one, the $1.97. I'm going to go 3, duplicate, and I'm done. Review draft items. It's done. So there. That was, once you have your audience, and you don't have to go in the way that Kat did anymore. You can literally just do it that way, and then it's easy and it's done. So
you're in Power Editor. I've actually never really used Power Editor.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Honestly, the only people that can use Power Editor are those with Google Chrome.
Oh, I didn't know that. We were just Garrett always taught us to edit in Power Editor.
Nobody that's because Brian uses Power Editor. I have had bad experiences, and I won't go on to that. So I've just stayed away from it, and I do it the harder way. But Power Editor, I believe, is what you get trained with in the back office.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I believe so.
Anyways, that's just what I wanted to show you guys quick there.
Super easy. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just quickly go back. I know this has been a really long Zoom, so Shauna, if you want to go hang out with your man, go hang out with me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. See you guys later.
Love you. I apologize for it taking so long. But yeah, so all of that is super easy. When you're split test one variable. Don't split test a million things, because you will never know what's actually working. So when I say I split test ages first, that's exactly what I split test. And then I get a really good cost. If I get a really good cost per lead or cost per comment, then I will go further. Once I figure out the exact ages that work for me, then I might go further and try duplicating that specific one with location and seeing if I can't get that cost per comment down again. But you always are testing. You're always trying to figure out what works better. But honestly, you're always aiming, for the 5 and under for leads or comments or whatever, right? But here's where we talk about performance columns. So I haven't done any of these yet, but what you can do is customize columns quickly. If it's gonna work. Oh. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, and I always add in what Shauna has, comment. What is going on with my computer? It's freaking out. Okay, here we go. So you click off post comments. You'll want to say cost per post comment. You'll want to add in things like website conversions. You'll want to add in website leads and cost per website lead. You can go through all of this and literally add everything that you want. and to check out. These are the basic ones that you'll want. I always save as preset, and I type it in, say lead cost or something, and name it, and then go apply. So now what's going to happen is in here, it's going to give me now, Shauna's is a lot neater because she put this stuff all up at the front. So these are going to give me how many comments I've gotten, cost per post comment, website leads, and cost per website leads. So I can really break it down and see it. You guys will want to go through this. I'm pretty sure there's some training in the back office for this as well, but you can play around with all of these. Go see what all these buttons do. Go see who's had engagement with your Messenger button if you're running a post engagement with Messenger. All these buttons are really awesome to get familiar with. But yeah, so I'm just going to really quickly run through this last step again, like Shauna asked me to, so that at the end, no, go away, start with. You guys can see, and I'm just pretty much going to do the quick one. Post engagement. Normally I'll write, you know, Canada 23 to 28. Same up here. 23 to 28. Oh my gosh, my computer's super slow today. Okay, so that's fine. Change this. But honestly, the most important thing is get yourself an ad out there to accumulate some leads, because that is the only way that you are going to create something that is income producing. Okay. Actually, yeah. And always make sure this says English, otherwise have fun with all your translations. That's fine. Edit placements. And make sure it's on. Oh, no, that's the one I want. Shoot. Shoot me some questions in the chat while I quickly run through this too for everyone else that wants to just watch the end here. So I'm sure there's a lot of questions after all of that. Let's check out this chat quickly. Let's just load in. Where did my chat go? Why can't I see it? Oh, there it is. Is duplicating an ad how you split test? Typically, yeah, that's how I split test. You can just create all new campaigns every single time, but it's just much easier to duplicate because half the work's already done for you, right? All you have to do is change exactly what Kate Mueller said. Yeah, it just makes it a lot easier on yourself. Yeah. Oh, with using an existing post, it does look like you can add a button. So if you're using an existing post, you are not creating a black ad or a ghost ad. This is something that is on your page and you will be able to access on your page. However, I don't think you will be able to edit it once it's within a campaign anyway. You'll have to shut off the campaign to edit the wording. That's one of the reasons why I like using black ads, because I can literally edit it at any time. I don't have to shut off the campaign to edit the wording or edit the photo or edit anything, right? So you can do it that way by having existing posts. You can come in here and you can create a post. Now I'm just going to show you guys that one last time, how to upload from your library, because it's super important when you want to accumulate on one video the amount of views that you get. Oh, that's how you would do that. You can add a button here. You can either do a learn more with a link to the webinar, or you can do a send message. I know that if you're really just getting started, you just want the cheapest form, that would probably be send message, because you're not sending them off the Facebook platform. You would write in here what you want to say. If you are running a link of any sort, if it's in the written, if it's not in the written, you will want to turn on your pixel if you have the button, or if you have a link up top. But make sure when you do are writing up top and it is for a post engagement, make sure you are telling them what you want them to do. People have to be told what to do in order to do it. So if you want them to comment, if you want them to message you, you have to specifically tell them to, or they won't. They'll hit like and they'll go on with their day. So, and then you would go there, review. I'm not going to press continue on this one because I didn't really do anything important there. But honestly, typically that's how quickly I can run through the ad setup. Because normally I have that thing copy and pasted like my write-up too. So that's how quickly it will become. At first, you will probably take a little longer on doing it. I'm just going to stop share. I know this has been really long, but I really wanted to be super detailed for you guys. So is there any questions that you guys have for me? Like I said, I'd love to do any one-on-ones with anybody that asks. Just give me some notice. You know, weekdays are really good for me. This weekend should be okay too if you guys want to hit me up. Even a smaller group so I can actually access all your guys' ad accounts. I've done it with my team lots. But any help you want. I know we've touched on making an ad, split testing a little bit. For some of the people that haven't even made an ad, this might just really keep it to the basics on writing on the post engagements. Okay, so Heidi, why don't you unmute yourself and let's answer some questions.
Hi. So when you like read the instructions on writing the ad engagements, I feel like a lot of them say use the word you.
Okay, so
I wrote one that I really liked, and it, like the whole thing, there's a whole bunch of yous all uppercase, and I haven't tried to run it yet.
Okay, so is that the one from like what I put in what you guys should use as ad copies in the back in the file section? Or is that because I did actually put some ad copy? So the ad copy means the writing at the top of the post engagement. Just
okay. Yeah.
So the ad copy, when you say you, Facebook, especially if you are a newer ad account, isn't going to like that. If you haven't built a rapport with Facebook, they're not going to trust you enough to target out one specific person. Does that make sense? So like when you're speaking to them, still speak in a way, and in your videos, you can pretty much speak however you want. Facebook doesn't really review the videos too much. What they review is the writing. If you have the word you in there, they're not going to like it. So try and change it to be either more talking in the first person, like yourself. Go and look at what other people are writing, right? Really try, and there's lots of ways to word sentences without using the word you. Like, I want you to comment more info, or just comment more info. Right? Just taking out as many yous as possible, going through your ad copy. Your ad copy was probably really good. It's just you have to go through and try and reword things, and it might not be perfectly grammatically correct, but when they're reading it, they're understanding that you're talking to them. But Facebook, and they're all so different. Yeah, everybody's different. And it also depends on the age of your ad account. Like for me, up until 2 days ago, I could pretty much get away with almost anything, because I've spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars with Facebook. But they caught me with one stupid thing, I don't know what it is, and I got shut down. So I learned I got caught, right, by the computer. The one computer was grouchy that day. If you ever have, I would like to see, are you on your computer? Do you want to open up your ads account and we can have a look at your ad copy, and I can actually take control of your computer too.
Okay, that's creepy, but yeah, let's. Let me.
I'm not a scam artist, trust me. What's that one scam that was going around where they took control of your computer? Oh my gosh, we got that.
I think it was called the Trojan horse or something.
Yeah, I think we got that on one of our old computers.
Okay, now I don't even know where to go. I can open my like business Facebook. I get so lost right now still.
Well, that's okay. So perfect. So at the bottom of your Zoom screen is the first thing that you're going to want to look at. And it's got a green button with an arrow pointing up, and it says share screen.
Let's see, that maybe? Am I sharing my whole desktop? No, I'm not. I'm just sharing my browser.
Yeah, that's fine. You can either share a whole desktop or just share the one screen. Okay. So here, you're going to go up to those 3 lines at the top. Oh, beautiful picture of you, by the way.
Three lines at the top.
Right there. Like that. Now go to, oh, you're set up a little bit different than me. Okay, so Adverts Manager.
Where am I going? Adverts Manager.
Yeah. Now, the ad that you got disapproved, was this ad blocker? Oh, are you using Google Chrome or are you using?
It's Chrome, yeah.
Yeah, okay. You might just have to set your thing to disable for this page on. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so not approved. So biggest thing ever is if you get something that's not approved, delete it right away. Except for in this case, it's good you didn't, so now I can look at it. So go to edit.
It was the one that I made with the video and like the instructions. I wasn't, what am I doing?
Oh, you got drafts. Oh, are you using Power Editor too?
Yeah. Oh wait, Power. You mean for the video with Power Editor?
It's okay. Just go. Don't show this again, and maybe go. Just close or something. See if that'll work. Let you go back into it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I want you to click on where it shows over here, not approved, campaign ID, ad set, ad. I want you to click on the one ad part.
How do I get rid of
little blue writing that says one ad.
That one?
Yep. Beautiful. So if you guys want to go in and edit, this is how you do it, okay? Typically, we don't like to edit because it screws up with the algorithm. And if you want to change something, what I would recommend is duplicating, changing, and seeing if that works, right? It's not necessarily going to work every time. So scroll down. Okay, so you used an existing post. Okay, I won't be able to change anything from here, but scroll down a little bit more. Does it show you the writing? Or it's not going to show you anything because it's all disapproved. Oh, crap. Okay.
I can go into it through...
Yeah, through your business page. Yeah, we're going to have to do that. If you click over here, the flag, sorry, you can't see my finger. By the 42 notifications there, you should be able to click that. Yeah. That's fine, Mike.
Don't mind the monkey sounds behind me.
That's okay, it's cute. And scroll down to wherever that post is. I'm out of coffee. Have a good day, Mike.
It was a little while ago.
You could, is it a video or is it a?
It's a video. Should we?
If it's a video, you should be able to click over here on the tab videos and you won't have so much to scroll through. Oh.
Okay, let me get him out of his...
Oh, it's really not bothering me unless it's, or any of us, I'm sure. He's not that loud.
Well, he finished spreading his keys all over the kitchen.
Oh, nice.
Now he wants down, so he can pick them up.
That's okay. Mine's eating chips in the living room, which is not allowed.
Okay, videos.
I think it's still loading, but.
This uses up a lot more.
Oh, Zoom meetings use up so much. It's like, stop stealing my Wi-Fi, Zoom.
This one, there it is.
Oh, there it is? Okay. You don't need to play the video, just I want to look up here. That's all you wrote?
That was an ad copy. That's exactly what they said to do.
Oh, in the back office.
Yeah.
Those are old. Okay, so.
I kind of figured that.
Yeah. Learn a new internet marketing skill. Okay, so for one thing, looking at this, I would have spaced out my writing. Honestly, you have a story, say it a little bit, right? Like these ads in the back office, there's nothing wrong with them. And there's nothing wrong with the ad copies in the back office, right? But they have been used a lot. And if you can add your own in on things, it's better.
Well,
So,
yeah, that's why I'm writing a couple, and I'm going to do a couple videos.
And I actually, in the file section, I know File Queen over here, in the file section of our group, I actually put in a whole bunch of ad copies in there that you guys are more than you can use them, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so learn a new internet marketing skill set that can change, that is changing lives, is what I would have wrote there, right? That is changing lives. See exactly how people, see exactly how everyday people are quitting their jobs and building a new lifestyle. Okay, so.
And this is exactly what Tracy.
I know. I don't know why they said that. But you should tell Matt and Julian to get ad copies out of the back office. They're crap. Okay, we got people on it. Okay. Yeah, these are crap. Nobody uses them. So this is how I would change it if you were going to write a really simple, quick one. Learn a new internet marketing skill set that can change lives. See exactly how everyday people are, instead of quitting their jobs, because Facebook will flag that too now, building a new lifestyle. Okay, so see exactly how everyday people are, my brain's so fried after last hour. Yeah, that is changing lives. Changing lives. See exactly how everyday people are creating a life by their own design. You could write as a simple one, because it looks like you were going pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
So everyday people are creating a life by their own design. A life by their own design, yeah. It's something really simple that you could write, and that would probably, convert. But what I have seen that converts better is when you can tell a story. So yes, this is simple, it works, but go into the group, go into the file section, look at the ad copies that I've used in the past, and add a title. This is awesome. It shows up on your video. So go like step by step to, or blueprint to success, or blueprint to, like in the title part down here.
Right here?
Yeah. You could write something awesome, like 30 steps to success, or step by steps the same steps I took, or something along those lines, right? And add something really good headline there.
I'm blanking too.
Yeah, just go same steps I took. Right? You can always go back and change this. Probably once you read the other ad copies that I've written in the back, you'll probably come back and rewrite something anyway. But this should probably get approved now, because you're not talking about quitting jobs. You haven't pushed it on a single person, right? Mm-hmm. There should be nothing in this that gets you flagged. The only thing I might change is once you had something that gets disapproved, you're going to want to change the first couple words of the paragraph too. So instead of starting at learn a new internet marketing skill, I'd go enter and put like a quick little headline like guess what, or
oh no, where to go?
Right, just change something at the beginning so the computer doesn't think it's the same ad that you're trying to rerun. You want to try and trick the computer, right? And it might catch people's attention. So you can put check this.
I think I put something in the video that was more about just like getting people curious.
Okay. Are you curious why you're seeing? Oh, you can't put you. Curious why you're seeing more of these videos on Facebook? Question mark. Or you can't use the word Facebook. Use the word Facebook. Help me. What's a good headline right now? Go.
What?
Headline. Go.
Get curious.
Get curious? Yeah. Sure, that works. I like it.
Did I spell that right? It looks weird in caps.
No, it's good. Get curious, and yeah, perfect. Learn a new. Yeah, perfect. And then go save. And I can't see why this won't get approved. The only thing that you're going to want to do in your ads manager is delete that one that's been disapproved. You don't want them first seeing that, right, when they go to your account. Because if you have a whole bunch that are disapproved, they're going to be like, oh, wow, oh, this chick's, sucks. We don't want her running ads. So if you delete
how do I
that,
actually delete it?
well, how do you? Oh, good question.
How much I had spent on it.
Oh, you spent that much and it got disapproved? Or no?
This was the likes the likes campaign.
Oh my gosh, why'd you spend so much? You forgot to shut it off?
I didn't know, like, they don't say anything about turning it off or how long you should run it. And look how many likes I got.
Well, that's awesome. You got a really good investment. You got a social proof. Don't be mad about it.
Like, all of those people, half of them, their names are not in even English letters, so they're obviously not.
You followed it exactly how the back office
and I've been getting comments that are not entirely appropriate, like send pics and I love you.
I know there was a couple people that haven't done a likes campaign yet. My advice to you, do not run it to the foreign countries that typically aren't English speaking. So don't do India. They are cheap. Like, she got a crap ton of likes.
But that's exactly what they tell you to do in the back.
I know it's exactly what they tell you to do. But
he's so serious about it.
Yeah. Most, like, I know, I really wish they would change that in the back office too. But typically what happens is we get a lot of the likes from India. Like that. So if you can try and run your likes campaigns to Canada, United States, United Kingdom, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, those kind of places, you'll pay more for the likes, but it won't be people that I don't want to be racist right now, but like from India that are potentially could spam your page too.
Well, yeah, and it makes it look fake when people go in and see those likes and the names on them.
Yeah,
it doesn't look legit.
Whatever, you have a really good social proof now, because when people first look at your page, they're going to see, wow, this chick has like 10,000 likes, right? So she must be really cool.
10,000?
Yeah, she accidentally forgot to shut off her likes.
Holy!
I've deleted a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go through them and delete people you don't want.
Yeah. Okay, so why is this one saying pending review? Oh, because we tried to edit it, maybe. Is that the one that was disapproved, right?
Yeah, that's the one that was
Yeah, so just go in and delete it right away, because we already know it's kind of wrong.
So where do you delete it? In
edit? So you press the checkbox at the side there. And then you go up to edit where the little arrow is over. Oh, no, sorry. The little arrow.
No, don't click. Sorry.
And that's okay. I'm using my finger to tell you where to go and you can't see my finger. So, oh, yours is different. Okay. What do I do here? Yours is so different than mine. Here, let me take control of your screen.
How do you do that?
I will do it. Don't worry. All you have to say is okay. It should come up with a thing that says, just click to start the mouse, control.
Yes, didn't I?
Did it work? Okay.
Oh, my Lord, this is so creepy.
Okay, so, why can't I delete it? This had campaign status, has edits to review. Oh.
Does that mean that they retry?
It could. It's probably just because we were just in there trying to edit it, and then you went to the main page and edited it there. What I would do, it's not letting me, here's your delete button, but it's not, it's grayed out right now. I would just keep this. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, it was because it was turned off. So anything that's turned off, are you okay with me deleting this?
Yeah.
Anything that's turned off, just delete. It keeps your ads manager really neat, because once you start getting really busy with this and duplicating lots, you're going to end up having a ton of ads in here, right? And anything that's not working or didn't work, just delete it.
Okay.
So yeah, just go delete. Oh, what happened? Why can't you delete that one? Why are you being nice? What did that say? Some of the campaigns that you were deleting have been modified. Continue. Yeah, I said so. One ad with errors. Save them to that. the heck? Who's your upline, Heidi? Oh, me. I'm your upline. We might have to look at this later.
Kat, you have to go to review draft items. Like,
oh, is yours set up like this? This is so different than mine.
yeah, that's how the
You have
power
to go
editor
here?
works.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't use Power Editor, so I'm like, well, what the heck is going on?
And then you have to okay it again just to make sure and then it will delete it off.
Thank you. Thank you. See? That's why we have teams. But yeah, okay. This is, your computer is slow like my computer. Yeah. But anyway, so what I would do now is once you do what she's, okay, here we go. So we just go confirm.
Yes.
Okay. Well, look at that. So that's how you do it in adverts in your version. Okay,
Yeah,
sweet.
power
Now
editor
we're all
is
done.
the
Yay! Oh, even I learned something new every day. Okay, cool. And then if you wanted to go back and redo that, oh, what's going on here? Oh, you still have that ad blocker. You should really try and turn that off for just this website alone. I know it's probably one of your virus things, but it really affects a lot of things within Business Manager. So, oh, I have to click again because I think you tried to. Okay, control back. There we go. So yeah, so what you'll do is go through the same process, go through the engagement, set up your ad sets the way you want, click the existing post because you already have it on your page, or you can create a black ad, whatever you want, but you already have it on your page. It's already written the way you want it to be written. So feel free to use existing posts. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm actually just going to give up remote control. You can have your computer back.
Thanks.
Yeah. I'll let you run that because I'm pretty sure you can figure that out. You've already done it once. Oh, I don't want to share screen. You can cancel your share screen. I think we should probably cut this down before it gets too long to record. I love and appreciate all you that stayed this long. Ads can be a forever long thing, and at any time, feel free to reach out to any of us. I'm pretty good at figuring out what's wrong now at what's going on in the ads. If anybody wants to try new things and ask me how they've gone over, I've spent thousands of dollars of just testing things for my team. So as much as I kind of tend to go on forever, I do know something up here. So feel free to reach out, and I will love to get on another Zoom any day, really. Even if it is another Zoom like this, it doesn't matter that we already did a day on ads. I can come back and redo it because this was a lot, right? We had to cover some of the basic stuff, and then we had to go into ads, and then we just had so many levels of people in here. So I was trying to make everyone happy, and I think it was just too much in one day, but that's okay. Did everybody get value for the ones that stayed? Sorry that it took so long. Loads of value. Okay, good. Extremely helpful. Well, that's good. Heidi, yeah, try running that. But honestly, girl, you're gonna have way better luck if you just be your honest self, right? Those ads, they're good. They've converted in the past, but honestly, if you're gonna get way more people that relate to you by doing you. Not by doing, Julian's videos and Julian's and Matt Jang's little ad copies. Step out of your comfort zone, write something yourself, right? You can do it. I have very much faith in all of you that you can write amazing ad copies. Even try taking things from mine or Shauna's or Allie's ads. Take them, right? It's not like they're just ours to use. Just because we've written them, just take tidbits from them, right? If they work, they work. I make sure you check out in the file section. I do have ad copies back there that I have written. You will have to edit a bit because it is my story, but it gives you an idea of how to write a story one, because that's typically all I write. But honestly, ads are just doing and doing and doing again, and understanding the mistakes we make, like Heidi and running a likes campaign for forever and forgetting to shut it off, or not forgetting but not knowing to shut it off. We only you can set, if you have a trouble with that, Heidi, you can set a timeline, specific timeline, and I probably should have went over that too, but in the ads you can set, if you only want this ad to run for a week, like it's a likes campaign or a boosted content or something, you can set it to do that. Typically, I don't like that because then the algorithm kind of slows down by the end of the week. And if I go to like push it another week, say it's a really good converting ad, it really just screws with the algorithm. So for me, I like running ads that continuously run unless I personally shut them off. But if you find that you forget to shut things off, or if you don't check your business manager enough, don't do that. Run the scheduled ones for a little while until you get into the habit of knowing when to turn stuff off, right? Couple quick tips. I think that's it. You just gotta keep doing it. Honestly, none of us knew what we were doing at the beginning either. We all made crazy mistakes. I've wasted $800 sometimes, not just 130. So it happens, and but it won't happen as long as you stay consistent and watch your stuff, right? Facebook will only spend what you allow it to spend. So Heidi, even though like you allowed that to continue to run, Facebook didn't do that without your permission. You said spend $5 a day and you didn't give it an end date. So Facebook is only going to spend what you allow it to spend. So don't ever be scared of it. Just always keep track of it. You are responsible for your own business manager. No one else is. So keep track of it. Understand the billing cycles. Understand all those things. You don't get billed to the end of the month unless you hit your billing threshold. So if you're a new account, it's typically like $200. But yeah, just keep an eye and just always be learning. I learn new stuff all the time because I don't use Power Editor, so I didn't even know how to do that stuff for Heidi. But Kate did, right? So it's always a learning curve, and you will always learn new things from new people. But go out, make your own ads, put your personal touch on things that'll 100 times get you more leads than reusing what's in that back office. Love you guys. I'm going to try and shut this off before it is no longer. I think we've been on here for 2 hours. So I hope people got value out of it and I didn't just ramble. But love you guys. Have a really good day. Enjoy your Saturday and your weekend.